Girl don't got time for that. Sally Rooney just totally gets it. No. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are starting another weekly reading vlog. This is the first week in a while where I have not been taking part in any readathons, any sort of prompts, anything like that. So we are starting my November TBR this week and we are allowing ourselves to mood read. I have two books that I would like to get round to this week. I originally thought I would start with the Vampire Academy books this week, but I'm just not feeling them. I've been watching a few BookTube videos of like some of my favourite people talking about thrillers, and I realised I need a thriller in my life. It's been too long. I mean, it's only been like a week or two, but it's been too long. So this week I will be starting with The Taking of Annie Thorne by C J Tudor. And if you watched my November TBR, you will know that I have never read anything by C J Tudor before. Hence this going on my TBR this month, because we all know I am a huge thriller lover, and C J Tudor is one of the most talked about thriller writers out there. She has quite a few books out and every single one always gets rated very highly, always gets talked about. So I'm excited to finally be delving into her writing. This one sounds so good. Like, the blurb just gets me so excited. I feel like I'm gonna fly through this one. There's someone at my door. BRB. Okay, I'm back. So, as I was saying, I am hugely excited for this one. I think it's going to be such a good, quick read. So this one basically follows a main character, and when she was younger, her little sister went missing. I'm not sure how long for, but there was like searches, appeals, everything, so it must have been quite a while. People were beginning to think the worst. They thought she had died, and then out of nowhere, the little sister comes back, but she will not speak at all about what happened to her while she was away. Either she couldn't or she wouldn't say what had happened. No one knows why, but I don't really know how much they're going to push her, but they never found out what happened to her while she was missing. However, she was not the same Annie that she was when she originally went missing. When she comes back, she is a different girl, obviously from what she's been through, and the main character actually finds that she is quite scared of her little sister, to the point where she says that she actually scared her to death. And now we are however many years on, and this main character gets an email in her inbox just simply saying, "I know what happened to your sister. It's happening again." That is all I know. Literally all I know is what I've read on the blurb on the back, but I am so excited for this one. I feel like it's going to be really well paced from what I've heard. I think it's going to be a really exciting, fast paced, tense read, but I also think it's going to be quite dark as well, and I do really like quite a dark thriller, so I feel like this one is going to be right up my street. I am hoping to rate this one quite highly. And then I want to go into some of C J Tudor's other books. I am hoping next time I go to a charity shop there will be at least one of her books in there, because there usually is, but I know The Chalk Man is another one I really want to get my hands on, so hopefully sometime soon. I do plan to finish this one within the next couple of days. I'm hoping I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to fly through it, and if so, my plan at the moment is to pick up another book that is on my November TBR, and that is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. Again, if you watch my video, you'll know that I am purely wanting to read this because of the hype that Sally Rooney is getting at the moment. She seems to be talked about constantly, both on BookTube and on BookTwitter. I am hearing about her all the time, always, well, for the most part, as her being an incredible author and writing really good books. From what I've heard, it sounds like she writes very emotional books and very sort of like raw human emotions. For most people, it sounds like she writes quite relatable characters as well. However, I have heard other people say quite the contrary, and that actually some of her representations are quite damaging and not what they would like to see represented at all. So I'm intrigued. I want to see what all the fuss is about with this woman, and I want to see what side I am on. This one obviously is a contemporary romance, I think, about, it's a sharp, darkly funny comment on modern relationships. I'm hoping to enjoy it. Obviously it is a complete departure compared to this one, so we will see how I feel. I may end up finishing this and just wanting to go straight on to another thriller. If so, I have plenty that I could choose from. I may do that, but I would really like to get round to this one and see how I feel. I think, again, this is one that people, like, Sally Rooney again is someone who people tend to like fly through her books. So I'm hoping I'm going to have a really successful start to November. We shall see. Obviously, I am still at uni and I do have a lot of work to be doing. So that's what I'm going to do just now. I'm going to get back over on my laptop and get through some more reading, some more note taking, some more studying. Hopefully I'll be able to get that wrapped up just before dinner. There's a lot that I need to get through, so I may have to continue after dinner. I am not quite sure yet, but I do know that I really want to get some reading done today because I feel like I am starting to slump again and I do not want that. So I do have on my to-do list for today to read 100 pages. So I'm hoping I will pick this one up later on, get started and just fly through the first 100 pages. If anything's going to make me do that, it's going to be a thriller. So I do have my fingers crossed. But right now, I better get back to good old studying. Happy Thursday. I'm just about to get down to doing some more uni work, but I thought I'd just come on and update you on my reading so far. I've already had quite a morning. Basically, I tried to go to one of the drop-in sessions to get my COVID vaccine, my first one, because long story short, I was booked in to get my first one back in like May, I think, but then I got COVID, so obviously I could not go, and then you have to wait like a month afterwards so it doesn't like overload your system or something, and I just never went. And I've been prioritising other things and I've been forgetting, and yeah, all the excuses. But today I tried to go. Well, actually last week I tried to go, and when I got there they changed the day of the drop-in. Today I tried to go and I was told there'd be at least an hour wait to get it done. I was like, girl, don't got time for that. I did not get my vaccine. Instead, I'm going to book it because apparently you can book your first and second vaccines. I didn't think you could. I thought you could only go to drop-ins now and it was just boosters that you could book. But apparently you could book your first and second vaccines too. So I'm going to book it later on. I was going to do it online, but you need like your username to do that, which is on your original invite to the vaccine letter, and I definitely don't have that anymore. That is long gone. So I'm gonna have to phone them later on, but I don't know how long that's gonna take. And yeah, I'm rambling. But basically, in terms of my reading, I have been reading quite a lot of The Taking of Annie Thorne. I am currently on page 154, so I'm just about halfway through, and I am absolutely loving this. I think C J Tudor could be a new favourite thriller author. I'm just really vibing with her writing style and her thriller style. Like, I don't know if they're all like this, all of her thrillers, but I'm assuming this is kind of just her vibe. It's a very dark, gritty thriller, which is definitely my favourite type of thriller. Like, the ones that are quite disturbing, like get under your skin, they're twisty, they've got some dodgy characters in. That is my favourite type of thriller, and that's exactly what this is. I particularly like this one because we've got an unreliable narrator in here. The narrator, who is actually a man, he is not a woman, he is a man, so I got that wrong. But he obviously has returned back to this town after getting this email saying, I know what happened to your sister, it's happening again, and he's taken up a job as a high school teacher in the area, and everyone's sort of like, why on earth would you come back here, sort of thing. And he has reasons for coming back here over and above that email, but we don't know what those are yet, and he seems very reluctant to tell us. He keeps hinting at the fact that he has like some end goal for being back, and he also keeps hinting about things that happened back when he was a teenager here in like 1992. So we keep getting chapters that flash back to 1992, giving us a little bit of more information about what happened then, but it's very gradual, just like little snippets here and there that sort of further our understanding but still keep us in the dark, and I'm really enjoying that. Like, I do not trust the guy. I think there is more to his story that could be quite dark and quite unsettling, and yeah, I'm just finding that whole idea really, really interesting to read. I also like C J Tudor's writing in the sense that she has quite a bit of humour laced in there, so there's just like little one-liners here and there to sort of like cut through the darkness. I mean, sometimes the humour is dark itself, but I just really appreciate that. I think it's a really good addition to her writing. So yeah, really, really enjoying this one. Cannot wait to see where it goes. Obviously, I'm still completely in the dark right now because there's so much that he has not told us yet, so I don't think there's really any way of knowing where this is going to go right now. If this continues the way it has so far, I do think C J Tudor will be a new favourite thriller offer, but obviously I'm like just halfway through, so there's still another half of the book to go. The plot could be awful in the second half, I don't know, but I have very, very high hopes. So my plan for tonight is to hopefully, if not finish this, get very close to finishing it. Like, I did read the first 120 pages in one sitting because I just could not put it down. Like, the writing is really easy to read, it flows, it's got me hooked. Like, at the end of each chapter I need to know what's going to happen next. So yeah, there are like constant hooks and cliffhangers in here and like twists. So yeah, really, really enjoying it. Hopefully I'll be able to like race through a ton of it tonight after I finish with uni work. That is the plan. We shall see. I have a feeling once I finish this I'm just going to be on such a thriller kick and I'm going to want to read so many more thrillers, but we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, before I get back to uni work, I did also receive a package, which I am very excited about. I'm going to show this just now without my address in it, obviously. So this is from Harper 360, and my friend Kat, Bambina Katerina on BookTube, actually told me about the fact that Harper 360 have this newsletter that you can sign up to, and you can basically see all of the arcs that are going to come out in the next quarter of the year, I think. I think it's a quarterly thing. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And you can look for the books that are coming out and are available as arcs, and then you fill in a form to say like which ones you'd be interested in, what would be your top choice, all that jazz, and then they may send you one. And I think that is what this is, and I have no idea which one it is. I actually can't really remember what I even saw on that list, so let's open it up and find out. Okay, so I have here Everything Within and In Between by Nikki Barthelmess. And I do kind of vaguely remember this one. I remember thinking it kind of made me think of like Elizabeth Acevedo and her types of writing, just in the sense that she really brings like her own culture to her writing and likes to like enlighten other people on that culture. This obviously is a different culture, but it gave me those sort of vibes. So the back says, for Ree Fernandez's entire life she's been told, we live in America and we speak English. Raised by her strict Mexican grandma, Ree has never been allowed to learn Spanish. What's more, her grandma has always pushed Ree away from the neighbourhood they call home, and toward her best friend's world of mansions and country clubs in the hopes that it'll bring Ree closer to achieving the American dream. In her most private thoughts, Ree has always believed that her mother, who disappeared when she was young, would accept her exactly how she is. So when Ree finds a secret unanswered letter from her mum begging for a visit, Ree decides to reclaim what her grandma kept from her. A language and a mother. But nothing goes as planned, and Ree is beginning to realise that nobody has any idea of who she really is. not even read herself. This one sounds so interesting. It sounds like it's probably going to be quite hard hitting, although obviously it is YA, so maybe not as hard hitting as an adult book, but it sounds like it's going to have really good themes in here about culture, cultural diversity, identity, the idea of the American dream, and then obviously just a sort of like a journey of this young girl finding herself and her identity in America as a young Mexican woman. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I'm gonna have to find out when it comes out and hopefully get it on my TBR sometime soon. And also, how beautiful is that cover? Gorgeous. Cannot wait to read that one. But right now, it is time, once again, to get to work.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've...
Hi guys, so it is now Saturday and I have actually just finished The Taking of Annie Thorne by C J Tudor, and I'm really not sure what to rate this one. I think I'm gonna go with a 3 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it, and I really enjoyed C J Tudor's writing style and like her humour, and I liked how it's quite a dark sort of gritty thriller. I can see why she is likened to Stephen King on the back. I did not see that coming. I don't know, I didn't read any of the comments beforehand and I didn't realise that there were going to be sort of aspects to this that weren't completely real, I guess. I could see where the Stephen King ideas are coming in, particularly for this one. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to like give any spoilers, but there is a very strong connection to one of Stephen King's books that I am assuming is what inspired this, because it is very, very similar. And I did really enjoy that. I think part of my enjoyment is probably being like brought down by the fact that I wasn't expecting that. Like, I thought this was just going to be a purely realistic thriller. I didn't realise C J Tudor has sort of more like supernatural elements to her books. If I'd known that beforehand, it might have changed how I rated this, because I would have been going in looking for that, whereas I was going in looking for a dark, realistic, gritty thriller, and then I got these other elements as well that I wasn't expecting. So I don't know if that's partly like swayed how I feel about this book, which again, as always, is my own fault for going in with my own preconceptions, but I had just never heard that before. I'd only ever heard her spoken about as a thriller author, and I suppose this is still a thriller, but like aspects like that verge more on horror to me. Like particularly parts in this, it was more like horror than thriller. So yeah, I didn't know that going in. Kind of wish I had. Not that like I don't, obviously I like horror and I like horror aspects. I just wasn't expecting that from this book. That's not what I was looking for in this book. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. I really enjoyed the writing style. I still really like C J Tudor's writing, so maybe I need to try one of her other books now, knowing what I'm getting myself into. Maybe I'll enjoy it more. Not that I didn't enjoy this. I keep saying that as if I didn't like this. It was a 3-star book, so I did obviously really enjoy it. Like, it was a good time. It's not one that I feel like is gonna stay with me for any good reason. It's not one that I'm probably gonna want to reread. So I think 3 stars is what to go with. I did just like dog ear this one little bit because it really really annoyed me as a reader, so I'm just going to read it out to you guys because hopefully you will understand. Never trust a person whose bookshelves are lined with pristine books, or worse, someone who places the books with their covers facing outwards. That person is not a reader. That person is a shower. Look at me and my great library taste. Look at these acclaimed tomes that I have, most probably never read. A reader cracks the spine, thumbs the pages, absorbs every word and nuance. You might not be able to judge a book by its cover, but you can definitely judge the person who owns the book. No. So I think as a member of the BookTube community, I can speak for a lot of us and say that book buying or book collecting and book reading are two very different hobbies, and it is possible to have both of them, enjoy both of them. I love to collect my books, make them look all aesthetically pleasing, as evidenced by my bookshelf organisation video that has just gone live, where I do in fact face a lot of the covers outwards because it is aesthetically pleasing to me. However, I'm also an avid reader and I enjoy my books, I enjoy reading them, and I soak in every sentence and enjoy my time with them. So no, was not happy about that little paragraph in there. But yeah, speaking of, I did yesterday, I don't think I updated you at all yesterday, I don't think I did any reading at all yesterday because I spent my day building my bookcase, organising my now 2 bookshelves, because I have 2, and filming like a little tour organisation video which has just gone live just now. So I am really happy with the video. I had such fun making it and I'm really happy with how it turned out, so I'm hoping it's going to be well received by you guys. Hopefully you will enjoy it. It's just gone live so I can't really comment at the moment. But yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed that one. Now obviously I've finished this one. My plan I think is to go on to Conversations with Friends. Part of me kind of wants to pick up another thriller. Maybe like a Lisa Jewell or something that's going to be more like thriller. But I do kind of want to see what is going on with Conversations with Friends. See what all the Sally Rooney hype is about. See if I can get myself on that hype train or if I'm just going to take a step back and let it roll right past. So yeah, I think I'll do that next. I am, however, right now really feeling a nap. Like, I'm so tired. I've been working really hard this week, getting up at a good time every morning. I maybe stayed up a little bit later than I needed to because Brandon and I have been binge watching Criminal Minds again. So we took a little bit of a break from watching it once we got to season 3. But now, I don't really know why we took a break, to us. I think maybe we started watching something else. But we're back on the hype train and we're back watching Criminal Minds. So we've been spending all of our evenings doing that. So yeah. It's one of those shows where you're just like, one more episode, just one more episode, and then before you know it, it's past your bedtime and you're going to be knackered the next day, which is exactly what has happened to me this week. So yeah, I feel like maybe a nap is acceptable, and then once I wake up feeling refreshed, perhaps I shall pick up Conversations with Friends. Please excuse my appearance right now. It is Sunday morning, so I'm still in my jammies. I'm having a comfy, cozy, slow day and it is lovely. But I just wanted to come on and give you a quick update because I did start Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney last night and I read half of the book in one sitting. Like, this book is so good. Sally Rooney's writing, I now see what all the fuss is about. I thought maybe I wouldn't like mesh with her like other people are, but her writing is absolutely incredible. I cannot believe this is her debut book because the way that this is written is just so like intelligently, masterfully done. She's got like the perfect amount of moving plot, like it does keep moving, things keep happening, but you're also getting all of this like inner discourse of Frances's thoughts with a bit of dialogue as well. Like everything is just so well divided in my opinion. I don't feel like I'm getting too much of one thing and not enough of another. I don't feel like it's slow at all. Like even though it is very character driven and it's very much about these people's relationships and their inner thoughts, it does still feel like it's moving along quickly, which is something that I think is really interesting because I think it must be very hard to do that. I also thought that the dialogue might be kind of confusing. Like people had told me that it can be confusing because obviously Sally Rooney doesn't use speech marks or anything. It's just like written as a normal sentence and then she said or he said at the end, and I thought I would find that really confusing because a lot of people said that they did, like they'd be reading a whole passage and then they'd realise that actually half of it was dialogue, but I haven't found that at all. I think it's really easy to tell when it's dialogue and when it's not. And I don't know if that's just because she writes it so well in terms of the different voices of an inner person's voice and an actual like outwardly spoken voice. I don't know if that's what it is, but somehow I think she distinguishes it really, really well, and I don't get confused at all. I don't read a bit and then realise it's dialogue, or read a bit and then realise it's not. I just instantly know what's happening, who's talking and why, and I don't feel like there's any need for speech marks, which I think is really, really interesting. Like I said, I think it must just be her way of writing, which I think is so intelligent and again, incredible for a debut book. I think one of the things that I'd heard most about Sally Rooney's writing before going into it was that it is incredibly relatable, and oh my goodness, like obviously I went in knowing that, so I kind of thought, I don't know if I'm going to feel that way, like everyone's talking about it and saying how amazing it is and how relatable it is. Because I'm going in hearing all those things already, I thought I'd be like more critical and not feel that way, but honestly, like, I don't know how she does it. Like, I feel like Sally Rooney just gets me. Some of the things, obviously we're following Frances and all of her inner thoughts, but the things that she does in her head, or like the way her brain works, the way she thinks about situations, or the way she thinks about herself, is exactly how my brain works. And it's like the little things that I've never seen written in books before, and the little things that I do all the time in my own head that I think that are maybe just me. It's me being weird, it's my like anxious brain looking at things in the wrong way. So to see her write a character who has the exact same like internal behaviours and internal workings as me is just incredible to read. Like, there's so many bits where I've read a passage and I've just been like, oh, yes! And that to me just makes me love this book so much. To see your own like anxious thoughts and like little behaviours and internal workings that you have that you might think are a bit odd, or like that you maybe like beat yourself up about, to see a character in a book experiencing those same things, it just makes you feel like a little bit more normal and a little bit more accepted, I guess, and it's just so lovely to read. So yeah, absolutely loving this. I'm halfway through. I've just finished part 1, so I've just got part 2. I'm assuming it's just 2 parts, but basically I've got half the book to read, so I've got about 160 pages, but like I said, I read those first 160 pages in one sitting. I just could not put it down, and I think I read them really fast as well. Like, again, it just is another mark of her writing, that it just reads so quickly, it just flows. A lot of the time, maybe like if I'm reading a book, I'll be sort of checking how long the chapter is, or I'll be like looking at the time and thinking, is that all I've read? Or I'll be looking at the page number and then looking again and it's only been like 2 pages. Whereas with this, I'm just not doing that at all. I'm just totally getting lost in the book and getting lost in Frances's thoughts and not thinking about how long it's taken me or how many pages there is or anything like that. I'm just getting lost in her mind. And honestly, again, I just can't believe it. Like, Sally Rooney is an incredible writer so far. And I feel like if it continues this way, which I think it is gonna, it just seems like she really knows herself and she knows her writing style, and that's gonna continue throughout the rest of the book. And if that is the case, I need to get the rest of her books and I need to read them all, because yeah, I love her. I just love her.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight.
Okay, so it is now Monday, and I did end up finishing Conversations with Friends yesterday by Sally Rooney, and I absolutely adored this book. I honestly just cannot believe how well written this book is, how like nuanced it is, how raw and honest it is. It is full of unlikable, messy, human characters, so if that's not your thing, stay away from this. But it's just so realistic and honest, in my opinion. It's got so many ideas in here about like different types of people, different types of relationships, different types of friendships, different types of relationship between others and also with yourself. And there's so much in here about like the idea of faking who you are to impress others, and how you do that in your conversations with your so-called friends and people you meet, how you can totally bring yourself across as a completely different person to who you are just through your words. I think that's such an interesting concept, and Sally Rooney just totally gets it. Like, she gets human nature so much and puts it so well into words. She just brings across so much that through your conversations with people, there is so much you don't know, whether that's with your best friend, your partner, someone you've just met. There's always so much you might not know depending on that person and what they're choosing to tell you and how they're choosing to tell you it. There's a lot in here about words being used as weapons to hurt other people, or how you might manipulate your conversations to give people an idea of yourself, like I said before, or to like manipulate them into how they feel about themselves. It's honestly just so raw and just so incredible to read, and I think it just highlights so much about us as humans and our nature, and it's quite enlightening almost to read it and think about how you might use some of these things that the characters are using in here and how you might behave in similar ways. And I think even just reading this, I saw things about myself that I didn't really like when reading this book. Like I said before, there are some things that made me feel really accepted and I could relate to the characters, but there's also some things where a character behaved in a certain way or did a certain thing and I thought, oh my god, I do that, but it's not something I like that I do. Like a way I react maybe to people or how I might speak to them. I don't know, it's hard to explain because I don't want to go like too in depth with it, but I just thought that was quite interesting to read things about yourself that you might not like and things you might want to change in yourself, or things you maybe didn't realise about yourself until you read her writing. And yeah, I'm just in love with Sally Rooney's writing and I really need to read more. I did give this one a 4 out of 5 stars, but to be honest, if I don't do half stars, but if I did, this would definitely be a 4.5 verging on a 5, but I feel like there's just something about it that didn't quite hit the 5-star mark, but it would be a 4.5 if I did half stars. So yeah, just a great way to end the week. Absolutely loved it. So glad that I tried out some of Sally Rooney's writing and I can't wait to read more. I have heard that people are either a Conversations with Friends or a Normal People fan. They either like one or the other. So I'm interested to see how I feel because obviously I love this, which suggests I am not going to love Normal People, but we shall see at a later date. But that will end this weekly reading vlog. As always, if you did enjoy it, then do please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more bookish content from me. Comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings. I do reply to every single comment. I love you all and I will see you in my next one.